electric XC40 Recharge has been grabbing all the headlines lately, but the standard petrol-powered XC40 is still one of the more enticing choices in the small luxury SUV segment. And now for 2023, it gets the new petrol mild hybrid powertrain that Volvo has been rolling out across its lineup. It's got more tech inside and small updates inside and out. So what's it like to drive now? We're here today to find out. Now, as for what's changed on the outside, the two biggest differences from earlier is that you get this more angular headlamp shape, and the same angular pattern is now repeated here in the housing for the fog lamp. The alloys for the 18-inch wheels are now a fairly plain single-tone shade, while the dual-tone color palette has been lost too. This takes something away from the crisp, square stance the XC40 has always had, but generally the Volvo continues to look distinctive and contemporary, despite now being around for a while. The rear remains largely untouched aside from the new B4 variant badging and a single-tone bumper insert. Now, the cabin of the XC40 was always a plush, serene space to spend time in, and that, as you would expect, remains unchanged with this quite minor update. So everything that you see is of top-notch quality, about the best that you can expect in this segment. For example, this plastic is quite soft. This wood grain actually has some real nice texture to it. Same with all these controls, the steering wheel itself, all the switchgear are right up there with the best in this segment. But the new addition is this orifice glass shifter. It replaces that quite plain plastic one from earlier, and that genuinely does quite a bit to uplift this sense of space and premiumness that's in this cabin. Now, the other big change in the cabin is this new infotainment system. It's the same hardware, the same Sensus 9-inch screen that was there earlier, but it now runs an Android operating software, and that has its bonuses and negatives. Now, the good part is that you get Google Maps right here. You can use Google Assistant to just drop location, and it's very easy. You also get it in the new digital instrumentation. I mean, it's not very configurable, but you get Google Maps right here, which makes life so much easier when you're on a road trip or just even in traffic. And among the things that we don't like about it is that you don't get physical controls for the climate. Maybe the screen could have had better graphics and so on now, considering how long the screen has been around. But other than that, these are minor sort of flaws, and they really don't take away much from the experience. Aside from other new features, you get a PM 2.5 air filter and USB-C charging. Carried over is a 14-speaker Harman Kardon audio system, wireless charging, panoramic sunroof, and lumbar support, although cooled seats are still missing. The XC40 gets the updated ADAS tech that Volvo debuted with these mild hybrids, but the system doesn't seem to be as reliable as the ones on the XC60 and S90. This could be down to the XC40 lacking a front camera. The assistance systems can tend to sometimes lose track of lane markings around bends and then add slightly exaggerated corrective inputs when it does detect the markings again. A new addition is that of blind spot monitoring, rear cross traffic alert, and braking. Now, the XC40 was always quite high on practicality, and that remains unchanged. So, for example, you have this large wireless charger here, which will hold a large phone even. Small spaces here, a small cubby hole here. These layered cup holders, which are a nice touch, which means each cup will be at a different level. A nice sort of dustbin kind of thing, which you can actually remove. A large space here too. So aside from how practical and well appointed the XC40 is on the inside, it's also a comfortable place to spend time in. For example, these seats, they are supportive, their cushioning is just right, it's not too firm, just the right amount of softness to it. You have a lot of adjustment with the lumbar and the powered adjustment, and these extenders here too. Toe pockets are large. There's this nice felt lining. The XC40 continues to offer one of the better backseat experiences in this segment, with good amounts of knee and legroom along with a flat floor. The panoramic sunroof also doesn't eat into headroom all that much. The boot is a usefully spacious 584 litres with a low load lip and an intricate through-loading space for large objects. The XC40 now adds a 48-volt integrated starter generator to the 2-litre turbo-petrol motor. Power output has gone up by 7 PS to 197, while torque is still at 300 Nm. the engine pairing with an 8-speed Aisin torque converter. Our real-world mileage test also suggests that there's been a small jump in efficiency with this change. Now this new mild hybrid engine option, it hasn't entirely altered the XC40's driving experience. Although you do notice that there's a bit more linearity in the way that this small SUV covers ground now. So for example, when you're just starting off, or when say you're below the turbo threshold, boost threshold, you realize that there's just that little bit more alertness than before. And that does help, say, when you're just ambling along in the city and so on. Aside from that, the engine itself is quite a linear one. So you have a wide spread of torque, so using it in any circumstances is not difficult. It's quite a, and like the rest of the cabin, it's a calming, fairly serene driving experience. Now this 8-speed Aisin gearbox, that hasn't changed either. It's the same as before. And when you're just ambling along, taking things easy, which is the best way to drive the XC40 because the driving experience sort of mirrors the rest of the car, then it's just shuffling away in the background. You barely notice it working. It's only, say, when you put your foot down hard, you realize there's a slight delay, and then the car sort of downshifts to the right gear and picks up speed. And that wouldn't have been a problem if Volvo hadn't removed the drive modes with this update. It's done that in its other cars which have received this new mild hybrid powertrain. And we think that is a bit of a miss, because then it would have given you that sport drive mode and so on, that sense of agility when you needed it, which other cars in this segment always have. The XC40, again, like we mentioned, isn't a car to be driven hard. So the suspension and steering tuning mirrors that again. It's typically European in the way it handles our roads. So at low speeds over sharp bumps and potholes, there is a touch of firmness, and that sort of fades away as you build speed. But the steering, again, it's light and easy in traffic. It doesn't require too much effort. Although, if anything, we would have liked a bit more feel in the on-center position. It feels a bit weird when you're just driving in a straight line. Maybe a bit more feel on-center would have been better, although that changes as you apply more lock. But again, it's not the most direct steering. You get a new steering feel firm kind of option in the infotainment, but that really doesn't help. It just sort of weighs up the steering artificially. And same with the suspension tuning. It's again best suited for, say, an easy cruise. So there's quite some body roll. There's quite a bit of body movement as well, especially for a car of this segment. When you drive it hard, when you're not driving it hard, it's again very soothing, very calming. So in the sense, if you just want an easy, relaxing car to drive, the XC40's driving experience is right up there to suit you. As before, the Volvo XC40 continues to be keenly priced. The SUV is still one of the stronger contenders in the segment with its quality, value proposition and comforting driving demeanor. Although we would have liked to have seen fewer features being dropped with this change, the new equipment does add to the general sense of solitude you get with this car.